Hi, I'm Ian Dunlop, living in Tofino, British Columbia right now in my van right here. It's a Chevy Custom 20, 1978, so it just had its 40th birthday, so it's kind of a little gem. Underneath it over here, you have a very powerful little V8 engine, E350. Doesn't go very fast, it only goes about 60 on the highways, so you're definitely living life in the right lane, just getting passed all the time, but it's fun. Yeah, every 3 hours you need to let it rest for 3 hours so that it doesn't overheat. I grew up in Kelowna, so to drive here to Tofino is usually 9 hours. It took me 3 days just because I had to stop and just do stuff along the way and let it cool down. So side of the windows, on my first night here, it rained super bad and leaked everywhere. Everything got soaking wet, so I just bought some electric tape and went through and taped up everything. Doesn't look very pretty, but whatever gets the job done. Yeah, I'll open it up, show you inside. I have two 100-watt solar panels on top of the roof that lead down to a second battery, which is 150 amps, and that goes to a 1500-watt inverter, which powers my fridge and my lights, and I can charge my phone and charge my computer and everything off of that, so it's really handy to have. Right here, this is my switch for the inverter here, so this turns on and off all like my appliances and stuff, which is really cool because I can kind of manage it from there. First thing I did was get swivel seats for my chairs. I haven't even flipped this chair back, really, I don't think, since I've been in it. There's no seatbelt for this one, so any passenger just kind of has to take their chances with me. I'm a good driver, but I don't know. It's like really opens up the whole area. When you're in here by yourself, it's kind of your everything. When you're sitting here, it's where everything happens. You read, watch movies, so it's really handy having this here. My fridge is a CFX 28 Dometic. It's really sick. It just pulls out here and it opens up from the top. It's really cool. It holds all my food super cold for as long as I have solar power to, power it. First cupboard kind of opens up, just has some water, pots and pans, stuff like that. In the bottom, the same thing, just sort of bigger pots, frying pans. In the second drawer underneath here is just kind of like extra storage, just more water and Advil and things like that, which you need when you're out surfing every single day, and when you're crouched over in your back, because I think the height from the top to bottom is 4.3 feet. So that's kind of like your standing up space, so you're pretty cramped. But yeah, in the bottom drawer here, just have like miscellaneous stuff. This is kind of just my drawer for everything. Just holds it all. And then this drawer here holds all my cutlery, so knives and forks and spoons and stuff like that. And yeah, for my cooking, I just do it up here on this countertop. The Coleman, there's like a sticker when you first buy it that says never ever use inside of a camper van or like indoors anytime. But I don't know. I don't know why they put that there. I don't think that worries me at all. Like, it's fine, whatever. But I did buy a carbon monoxide reader, so just in case I ever was about to die, hopefully it would save my life and I could run out. Having the Coleman is just easy, especially once you're outside too. You can just, like, if you're camping somewhere, you can just bring it outside and just cook outside because it's way nicer being able to stand up and cook things. And underneath here, I just have this big kind of spot for like cookies and chips and beer and stuff like that. Just kind of my everyday go-to bin right here. Beside it here, I have 3 of these bins. The third one's just tucked back in there. And inside of them, this one's for like tea and like hot chocolate and coffee and stuff like that. And then this one here is full of my craft dinner. If anyone knows me, they know that I eat craft dinner 24/7. And then yeah, that one down there just has some like pasta and some raviolis, Chef Boyardee, and some alfaghettis. Pretty good. And then inside of this little compartment here, this was all measured out too to fit with some Lysol wipies. And then in the back, this is where I keep all my fuel for the stove and stuff and for my propane heater. But you never really run out of fuel. Like, those things can last you a long time, like weeks. So it's pretty bomb-proof to just have them in there. But yeah, moving on to the bed, I built it so high because I needed to fit all my boards and stuff underneath, which are under here on this side. That's why it's blocked off. But I hadn't really planned on getting a bed this big. First of all, my first plan was to just have like a couple layers of memory foam, like some thin stuff from Costco, and then like a little sheet of like styrofoam or something underneath. But then it wasn't until my dad kind of convinced me, or my mom, that your back's gonna be really sore, so you should probably not cheap out in the bed, which I did, and I thank her for that, because it's pretty awesome staying in here. But it really lifted it up a lot, so there's not really a whole lot of headroom when you're in there, and it's been a couple times where I've woken up and forgotten about it and nailed my head on the roof, but it's all part of the fun, I guess. Show you my lights here. It's just some LED strips from Amazon that kind of run around the outside here. And yeah, this is what they look like when they turn on, so they kind of give it like a cool feel in here at night. And on the app on your phone, you can just adjust the brightness of them or change them to any color you want, which is really cool. They also have, on the app, they have like scenes and moods, so you can go to like a sunset mood or like an ocean mood, stuff like that. It's really weird, but pretty sick. They have these like strobes as well, so you can kind of have a little party here at night. It's pretty sick. So yeah, back in the van where I keep all my clothes, my closet, I just built together this sort of contraption here which holds everything. It's just on hydraulics, so it opens up really nicely and holds all my gear and stuff in here, which is really sick. And the back one opens too. And yeah, it's pretty small, but if you just roll up all your clothes, everything fits in there fine. And there was kind of a moment where I had to go through everything before I left and just kind of really pick out what I needed, not what I wanted. Yeah, all you really need is like 5 shirts and like a couple pairs of pants, and you're pretty much good to go. On top of the van, I just have 2 roof racks, which hold up my Thule. And on the other side, it's just my longboard strapped up to the roof. Just doesn't fit inside the van, so it's kind of nice to have it strapped up there and just out of the way. Back in here, welcome to my garage. This is what holds all my gear, my boards. Yeah, it just opens up. This one kind of slides fully through. The same sort of stuff that's on the roof is on the doors, so it's really handy, looks well. So this kind of spot here in total length is like 6'2" or something, the same as the bed. So it can hold my boards with extra space, like so much space in there, and it can hold towels underneath it and all my fins and wax. And on the side here, I just have this bin. This is for just all my wetsuits and whatnot. They just stay in here. That's not the best for drying them, for sure, but whatever. If it's gonna be cold anyways, you may as well put on a wetsuit. And yeah, it also holds my skateboards up here as well, which is really handy. They just kind of fit in there, and it's really not too big of a deal if you have to pull them out or anything. And yeah, inside of this here, it kind of opens up. Definitely got this idea off of Alex Honnold's van. Not gonna try to say it's my own, but yeah, I put on some like 200-pound sliders on them, so it can hold a lot of stuff in here, and it just has extra jackets, extra clothes, like camera gear, extra sleeping bags, and yeah, this is really awesome. Just kind of holds everything in here, really easy, and it's dirty, so you can just kind of toss it all in and don't have to think about it. It's in the back. So like a complete idiot, I didn't measure how much space was between the door closing and the bed, and as I sat there before I closed it, I just kind of realized, I was like, what if this doesn't work? Because it looks super tight, like there's literally no room. And the first time I tried it, it like didn't work, and I was like, no, my goodness, what am I gonna do? And then after like a lot of like sanding and shoving, it works. So you can kind of see it like scrapes it up and dents it in every time. But I mean, whatever works. And yeah, that's really all. I kind of remember some stuff from the front. So go back around there. This spot kind of behind the seat is really useful for storing some stuff. My electric guitar fits perfectly, just kind of straps up against the seat here. Next to that, just some bags and towels and extra water and whatnot. It's just, I don't know. It took me, when I bought it in March, and it took me until September. So all in all, 7 months of building it. And that was like every night, every weekend, like every spare moment that I had. It was either like working on the van or like thinking about things about it and watching like 1,000 YouTube videos and just all the things on how to do it. Because really prior to it, I had like a little bit of building kind of experience, just like kind of messing around in the garage and stuff, but I never took woodwork or anything like that in school. So kind of figuring out how to learn, like how to use all the tools and whatnot was kind of a experience as well. There's some times where that kind of sucked because I did some sketchy stuff, and I realize now that I was an idiot for doing that, but you live and you learn, I guess. I didn't kill myself, so I have all my fingers still, which is good. Yeah, it's kind of cool to be able to say like, yeah, I did this all myself, which was fun. With a little bit of help like on the roof. I think the only thing that I had someone help me with, just my dad kind of came through, besides like bouncing off ideas off of him and him showing me how to use stuff. But for actually building, yeah, it was just kind of a two-person job to hold it up, and then the other person like screw it in and nail it in. But yeah, other than that, it was pretty much just all me solo. I would go to work and then or school and come home, and then I'd just be up until like 2 in the morning, like using like power drills and stuff. And there's a couple times where the neighbors came over and they weren't too stoked on it being 2 and their kids were asleep, and I was waking them up with the drill. They love me now for it, so it's all over. I'm gone, so hopefully they're happy. And yeah, definitely really handy to have neighbors too, because I borrowed a lot of stuff off of them. So if they're watching this now, thank you for that. It was really helpful. It's been like 2 weeks, I guess I would say 2 weeks, like fully being in the van. So I'm definitely by no means like someone who's lived in their van for years or anything like that. I'm just starting, but yeah, so far it's been pretty awesome. You kind of just get to go wherever you want, and you have your house with you, and you don't even feel like you're in a van. Like once you park and have like your home set up for the night, you literally just kind of feel like you're back at home. Like once you turn on the lights and kind of close the blinds and kind of have your own space to yourself and start cooking some dinner, always craft dinner, it's pretty nice to just kind of be able to, I don't know, call it home. It's been 8 years since I've started coming here. Yeah, so I like half grew up out here, so it wasn't really like I was moving away from home. It was kind of like I was moving to my second home, because I've always been out here, so that kind of helps that. But in terms of kind of like living by yourself in the van and doing things like that, you kind of just learn quick and kind of just grow up fast, and people are nice. Like when you meet people on the road and stuff, like no one's an asshole, and if they are, just kind of drive away from them. Like who cares? Like I don't know, it's fun. Yeah, I don't know. I guess college and university would have been hard for me, like right out of high school to go to, and it just wasn't my thing. So yeah, this is definitely a cool alternative for the year or more to just travel around and drive it around, which I love doing. And yeah, more to come in the future for sure. Definitely gonna hold on to this thing for a little bit longer. Sick. Definitely recommend if you're not afraid of the outdoors to buy a van and convert it out. Yeah. I don't know what else, man. I don't know what to say.
All right, you crushed it. Sick.
Fuck, that's a lot of talk.
That's a wrap.
I'm gonna cut like half of that out.